Ladies and gentlemen, we are not done yet. Because Patrik Allvin is awake, announcing today that the Vancouver Canucks have made a trade with the Chicago Blackhawks. Vancouver receives forward Ilya Safonov, and Chicago receives nothing. Future considerations over to the Blackhawks on this June 28th. Patrik Allvin making some moves for a Russian forward. Let's go out there and read the report on the Canucks website. Then we can take a look at the profile. Then we can talk about some of the other stuff that has been discussed. Honestly, a pretty lackluster trade day. There were two big moves that I remember talking about, or that I thought were interesting enough to talk about. John Gibson and Jordan Spence. I know there were a few other moves of other more less relevant players compared to a John Gibson, for example, but I'm going to be honest here, Ilya Safonov is not any different from more of those extra guys. But the Vancouver Canucks, either way, they acquire this guy in exchange for nothing. Patrik Allvin announced today Vancouver acquires Safonov. I almost said Samsonov. Nope, they did not get Ilya Samsonov. That's an entirely different guy. But Safonov, 24, appeared in 51 games for Akbars Kazan of the KHL in 2024-2025, recording 22 points, 22 penalty minutes, and a plus 22 plus-minus rating. What the hell? This guy was a 22 all over the place. That is wild now when I think about that. He also appeared in 13 postseason contests, registering 5.6 penalty minutes and a plus 2 plus-minus rating. In 263 career KHL games across parts of 7 seasons, all with Akbars Kazan, the 6'4", 205-pound forward has posted 95 points, 86 penalty minutes, and a plus 50. In 59 postseason games, he has scored 17 points, 23 penalty minutes, and a plus 10. A native of Moscow, Russia, Safonov has represented his country on multiple occasions, including the 2017 U17 and the 2021 World Juniors. Safonov was originally selected by the Blackhawks in the 6th round of the 2021 NHL Entry Draft, 172nd overall. That is admittedly all information that we can find on Elite Prospects over here. Ilya Safonov, 24 years old, 6'4", 205, left-handed center, a big dude who doesn't have a contract, or I think he might have one in the KHL. I'm not really too sure how that works, but Akbars Kazan got some decent production out of this guy. 22 points in 51 games played this most recent season. He had a 37-point year 2 years ago, which was admittedly a lot better than the seasons he has had lately. He's 24 years old. I don't want to say that there is like some huge NHL potential out of Safonov, but if Patrik Allvin wants to take a swing on a guy that has displayed some consistent KHL results, be my guest, I guess. 24 years old, too. May 30th, 2001, the birth date. This guy was eligible to be drafted in 2019, but he didn't get selected till 2021. What happened in that 2021 season that allowed him to get drafted? Oh, he just kind of played KHL minutes. That's it, eh? Interesting. Now, to end off this video, because Canucks fans are really smart, they like to do digging and they like to figure out what exactly it is the Vancouver team is getting. This is what Jabo Vancouver went out there and posted. It's what they could find on Ilya Safonov, a smart defense-first type player and an excellent penalty killer with a big frame that sees the ice well. He makes good decisions with and without the puck. The pick? Should say the puck. And tends to be in the right place at the right time. There is potential for more of a two-way player within the right situation. You have Jeff Patterson, who went out there and said this. Safonov was a 6th-round pick in 2021. The Canucks had a pair of picks in the 6th round that year. Safonov was taken in between Hugo Gabrielson and Connor Lockhart, both of whom aren't really all too significant pieces in Canucks lore. Then you also had this, an article posted about Ilya Safonov years ago. Blackhawks of tomorrow. Could he be the next Pavel Datsyuk? No, I don't think so. I don't think the Canucks traded for the next Pavel Datsyuk for future considerations, but all things considered, we will keep an eye out on Ilya Safonov over the next little while, whether or not he is applicable to be brought over to North America, whether or not Patrik Allvin and co. have any plans of using this guy in Abbotsford, or goodness forbid, the NHL. I mean, Teddy Bluger replacement, anybody? Okay, no, we're not going to go and entertain that thought process. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Either way, how do you feel about Ilya Safonov being the newest Vancouver Canuck after all the draft picks, after all the shenanigans of rounds 2 through 7 today? Vancouver makes themselves a future considerations trade with Chicago. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.